Hey there, everyone. It's Weather for Weather Geeks time on this hump day. I want to draw your attention. In case you didn't see this last evening, I put a fresh blog on my blog post, that is, on my weather blog. It's ericwfmj.com. A lot of you watched this video on that blog, so you probably have already seen this, but some fun statistics on this summer, and has it actually been a cool and wet summer as the perception is? And some of the stats say yes, some of the stats say, well, maybe not so fast. So I think you'll find that interesting if you haven't read that just yet. ericwfmj.com, that's my weather blog. And at this time of the year, a lot of times the weather is not super exciting, so one blog post a week is what I'm averaging right now. In the winter, I post quite a bit more because there's more interesting weather, but usually one a week during this part of the year, weather depending. All right, as far as this afternoon's weather, a cold front knocking on the door right now. Temperatures have already dropped a few degrees over the last hour or so. We reached our high probably in the 12 o'clock hour. Now, as we go through the 2 o'clock hour, it's dropped down to 73. It's already dropped into the 60s up around Cleveland. So there's our cold front. So take a look at the dew points. They are also slowly dropping. Now, the dew points are lagging behind a little bit, but they're starting to slowly drop northwest Ohio. The biggest drop is out here towards Chicago, where the dew points are in the upper 40s and 50s. So that's the drier air that is coming our way. This front is kind of underachieving a little bit in terms of the amount of precipitation it's producing. We expected the radar to be a little more active at this time when we gave you the forecast last night, and even this morning it looked like it might be a little more active than this, but it's just having a hard time spinning up much. So for the rest of the afternoon today, up through maybe 5 o'clock, I can't rule out that you get a shower or a thunderstorm. Most of us look like we're going to stay dry, though, so kind of an underachieving front. Most of the action's out to the east. There's a severe thunderstorm watch from the Poconos in northeastern Pennsylvania, right up through the Catskills in New York, the Adirondack Mountains in New York. All of this is east of the Finger Lakes, and then it heads up into Vermont, New Hampshire, western Mass, northwestern Connecticut, the entire state of Maine under a severe thunderstorm watch for the rest of the afternoon. So that's where most of the action will be. There'll also be a little bit of an enhancement of thunderstorm activity along and south of the Ohio River this afternoon. But here, there's just not much going on, I think, for the rest of the day today. Now, the heat is being trimmed across most of the country today. Check out the current temperatures across the country. Let me take off some of this other information so it's a little less busy. And as you can see, the heat is not quite as intense as it was yesterday. We don't have as many upper 90s. In fact, it's cooled off into the 70s and 80s out here. When I showed this map yesterday, it was almost 100 with heat index values of 110 out here. So, the heat is being trimmed. It's still hot in Texas and Oklahoma, but this is a pretty nice cold front that's coming in, and we're going to feel the effects of that here as early as tonight. It's going to be a cooler night tonight. So here we go with tomorrow. Our front by midday tomorrow will be kind of out in here, so we're north and west of it. It's not a bright and sunny day tomorrow. We'll call it a mix of sun and clouds, lower dew points, some more comfortable air. At the surface, high pressure will be building in from the north and west. That's going to completely clear our sky out for tomorrow night. So tomorrow night even cooler. And then Friday's a beautiful day. High pressure almost right overhead. We'll wrap up the week just on a perfect note on Friday. Beautiful day. Sunshine in abundance, very, very comfortable. Head into the weekend, and if you watched this video yesterday, I talked about how some of the models, especially the GFS, was speeding up the arrival of our next chance of precipitation. Some of the other models have joined that chorus a little bit. So what I think we're going to do this afternoon is throw in maybe a 30 to 40% chance of an afternoon storm on Saturday. Not a lot to worry about here. It's far from a washout. It'll be real scattered and probably towards the end of the afternoon. So we're gonna make that change to our forecast for the first half of the weekend. I still think the second half of the weekend brings a better chance of getting wet, a higher chance of getting wet, as a strong cold front pushes in. Showers and thunderstorms pretty likely on Sunday. This has a better chance of maybe not necessarily being a washout, but more backyards will get wet on Sunday than Saturday. And behind this front, as we've been talking about, some serious cool weather coming. Monday could bring another shower in a few spots. Brisk wind. It's going to feel like September Monday, and it's going to feel like September on Tuesday as well, despite a little bit more in the way of sun. Here's the 16-day temperature outlook on the GFS Ensemble model, taking us all the way out through August 7th. And look what's happening early next week. A high of only maybe 71, 72. That's it. We should be at 81 in early August, so a good 10 below average. That means a lot of nights down into the lower 50s, so good sleeping weather. Our electric bills, if you have air conditioning, will, appreciate it for sure. And after that dip early next week, you'll notice no heat waves are advertised through that first week of August. Of course, we have the Columbiana County Fair next week, and a very comfortable fair, it looks like. Now, it's a little too early to talk about precipitation. It's only Wednesday of this week, but at the very least, one thing we're confident of, it'll be a comfortable week. It will not be a hot week for the Columbiana County Fair. Of course, since all of us here at WFMJ will be in a black, hot tent at the Canfield Fair at the end of August, no doubt it will be 95 degrees. It always seems like it is. All right, that's weather for Weather Geeks on this Wednesday. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11. Jess will have her updated forecast for you early risers, WFMJ today, bright and early at 5 tomorrow morning. And as always, another edition of this in-depth online-only weather video will be posted 2:30, 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. See you then.